What is this, EJ?
Yeah, this happened. So we got a recross of some 4-hour break of structure. Was consolidating all last night, finally pulled back. And it looks to be crossing on the 1 hour. This thing looks pretty nice.
Nice.
Right? Let's check the daily, see if everything lines up. We got a cross here as well on the closure of this daily. Interesting, guys. Very interesting. All right, we'll do a full analysis on that. I'm going to get started on DXY.
Yeah, we'll break it down. All right, so welcome everybody to the live trading session. It is October 6th, Tuesday, and pretty much how these sessions go for you guys that haven't been here before is we're just going to run through all the pairs that me and Nick are looking at for today. We're going to start off with the dollar index, as always. And if you guys have any questions, just feel free to put in the chat. This session's for you guys. So
Yeah.
that being said, let's get it started.
Yep. 100%. All right, cool. So we already started on DXY, guys. This is essentially just this chart shows the strength of the US dollar, and we analyze this for a few reasons. We don't specifically trade DXY, but we use it to gauge where kind of the rest of the market is going, because the dollar makes up for 80% of all trade. It's considered the reserve currency of the world, so it's definitely an important currency to keep an eye on. So we come on here, we analyze, kind of see what the overall trend is, see what kind of moves we could, potentially capture intraday. So we'll come on here, we'll analyze, and then we'll go over to major pairs and so on. All right, so let's take a look here at DXY. Let's see what this pair is doing. So we're going to start on the daily time frame, where we are right now. We're clearly bearish, right? So we were bullish, went bearish, so a nice break and retest, huge bearish volume. Kind of shooting lower, and I've gone ahead and labeled here on these daily time frames, break of structures where we saw a transition happen. So once this zone was broken right here, this daily break of structure level, this was a clear transition to the downside. So price action was very bearish. It went from bullish to bearish, and now we're in a deep bearish trend. So, we're down here. We hit this bottom trend line. If we go to the weekly for a second, I'll just show you the trend line. We hit pretty much this monthly, this little pocket down here. So a lot of support in here, tons of consolidation. I think it was an inverted head and shoulders, basically, reversal pattern. And then we got a 4-hour break of structure. So we're 4-hour bullish on the dollar, daily bearish. Okay, so the way that this could go, let's drop down to the 4-hour for a second. The way that this could go is either, bullish or bearish, naturally. So what do we want to see to go bullish? Ideally, we want to see a break of a lower high, which would be pretty much right here at 93.9. And you'd want to see something like this. Right, nice little pop out of this pocket of confluence. We want to see some sort of reaction. And then to be conservative, a higher low above that level we just drew, 93.9. Okay, so this would be enough for us to consider, more bullish movement on the 4-hour at least. But what's the flip side to this? Let's say we get a little break lower. We get a recross of this 4-hour structure, break a structure, look for a lower high below that zone. So now we are kind of consolidating right below this, but think of this as an area. So this whole area, price action is not reacting yet. It's kind of going sideways. So we need to wait for some sort of conviction, whether this flat lines and kind of falls into this lower zone, then you look for a lower high, or we'll just wait for a huge surge to the upside. All right, definitely not easy to to get ahead of this trend here, but it's definitely important to remain patient. Really want to be sure that we're getting the real move here. You don't want to get faked out. We don't want to get into anything too early. Always wait for closure. Always wait for a break and retest. All right, so this is DXY. All right, and let's just talk about projections for a second as far as targets go. So if we do get this push to the upside and we get some higher lows and you see this 4-hour bullish trend continue pretty heavily, we could potentially move all the way up, back up to this daily break of structure. This is really the only major level of resistance other than this little high here. So price action could fill this whole zone and move quite a bit if it continues bullish. All right, if not, it's dropping to the monthly, I think, at least. All right, so that's DXY. Let's move on to AU. Daily time frame first. Here we are. Super bullish recently. Again, I've labeled these breaks of structure, right? So we had a weekly break of structure. So that's a daily transition to a bullish trend, right? Then we're getting all these daily higher lows, higher highs. Then we got a break of daily structure right here, which means we broke this higher low. Right, so this is a transition. So on the daily time frame, we went from bullish to bearish. Now we're getting some lower highs. Let's drop down to the 4-hour. Right, and then we went bearish for a second here. Super bearish. Then we got to break up a lower high. So it's a 4-hour break of structure. Now it's 4-hour bullish, daily bearish. Right. I hope this makes sense. I mean, I think this is a really good tool to show you guys how I'm just finding direction based on break of structure here. Right. So weekly bullish because we had a break, we're above it. Daily bearish because we had a break, we're below it. 4-hour bullish because we had a break and we're above it. Okay. So giving you guys an idea of the different trends here on these different time frames. So 4-hour we're bullish, daily we're bearish, and we're currently retesting daily break of structure. Right, so it pulled back to retrace this broken zone. It gave us a double top, and now it's kind of falling out of this pattern. So guys, we could have a really nice short opportunity potentially. Let's go to the 1-hour. All right, this is shaping up really nice actually. Damn. All right, let me get rid of this arrow here. All right, cool. So, this thing is so juked me out last night. So a little heavy
Well,
sigh.
AU.
Heavy sigh. Yeah. All right. Anyway, this is what we wanted to see. We entered a little bit prematurely in this bit of consolidation. Should have waited for this transition here because now this is like a 1-hour. It's like a 1-hour break. Now we're bearish again on the 1-hour. Actually breaking through this trend line. It's holding at the 200 EMA. So as far as MAs go, this one would potentially have the most reaction. If you look to the left, you can see every time it was touched, we had some sort of major reaction. Now price action is kind of sitting on it. So this bearish momentum is holding pretty well. So pretty much from right here, look for any sort of bearish setup to enter on. Bearish engulfing, evening star, either of those would be super ideal. And let's go ahead and see where we could target based on the 4-hour. All right, so first things first, you want to target prior lows, higher lows. So right here at 50% first. And then ultimately we're looking to get down to the 4-hour zone that we just broke. All right, so this thing's looking pretty damn good, to be honest. You just want to make sure you got the right setups, guys. Be patient, wait for that closure. Wait for 1-hour closure most of the time. Okay, so something like that, just over 2-to-1. The trade's there. Could be something pretty big, especially if we're playing at the daily. Daily move will, if we start breaking major support, we'll target prior low down here at the monthly. All right, which pushes us well over to 3-to-1. All right, so this is looking pretty good. But guys, we're bearish until we see this daily zone break again. So if you see something like this, some sort of higher low above that zone, then we're bullish again. Okay, let's take a look. Just like this. Yeah, if we get a break of this zone right here at 0.72 flat, higher low above that zone, that's where we're looking. Excuse me 1 second. I'll grab a tissue. Damn. Oh, damn. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Just didn't take my Zyrtec this morning. For real. Shit hits hard. If any of you guys have allergies, you guys know the struggle. All right, so let's move on to AJ. Those are the two scenarios for AU we just covered. All right, daily time frame first. Again, this looks very much like AU, where we have an overall bullish trend, and then we're daily on the bearish. So we recently saw a major rejection off this monthly zone, and then huge bearish momentum, nice lower high formation, daily break of structure. Let's go down to the 4-hour. So nothing really here is saying bullish movement. Especially we got a nice break of support, got a nice pullback, nice double top. Could be seeing some nice bearish movement too. Let's get rid of that. Oops. All right, so this is essentially what we want to see. Is this right here? Some sort of, this actually looks pretty damn good to me. This nice bearish engulfing here. However, you do want to jump down to a 1-hour. Get some sort of, okay, this is what I want to see. I want to see this right here. All right, some sort of retest of this broken zone. This is a very minor broken zone, but I still like to enter on a retest. I always want to enter on a lower high, regardless of the time frame. I want to see a pullback to 75.8, and then some bearish setups from there. Preferably just rejecting off the MAs, crossing through the 200. That would be perfect. So off that, I'm looking to short something like this. Okay. All right, let's jump back to the 4-hour. Talk about targets for a second. All right, so this is a daily move, right? We're looking to continue, with this daily trend as we're rejecting daily resistance here. So we're going to choose a 4-hour daily target. All right, so first target would be these prior lows right here, these two, pretty much at 75 flat, which also acts as a psychological level. And of course, we want to target down towards 0%, right, which is the prior low of this whole daily structure here. And then potentially even lower. But once we get to this 0%, we'll reanalyze and figure out if we can target negative fib levels. But for now, these are our two targets, prior lows only, pretty much 75 flat, and then again down towards 74. All right, so this could be a really nice trade on AJ. Again, JPY pairs move quite a bit, so let's just go ahead and throw this on there. See what our risk reward could be. Again, well over 3-1. So guys, there's a good amount of setup shaping up right now. Again, some with more correlation, you'll see similar setups like here on AJ and AU. But I would definitely recommend to trade these as, like, if one is better than the other, if one's looking a little more clean, just take one of these. Don't trade both at the exact same time. Okay. But I think AU might be looking a little bit better. Yeah, AU is looking a little better. All right, so that's AU and AJ. Let's move on to UJ. This one is just throwing a curveball, man. All right, this is UJ. Let's go to the daily time frame. Overall bearish. Not much has changed as far as the daily sentiment, but one second. All right, but we do have a bit of consolidation and a ton of indecision on these lower time frames. So, all right, so daily's bearish. Perfect. Let's drop down to the 4-hour. All right, look at this. We had a huge drop off, huge conviction to the downside. Kind of found support in this, 104 area, and then rejected. Gave us a nice little transition here, higher low above the MAs, pulled back. Okay, it pulled back, still within this overall descending triangle, but it has been forming a ton of consolidation right here. It's just been ranging between pretty much 105.35 and 105.8. It's just been bouncing like crazy, not really choosing a direction, attempting to make breakouts, but then pulling back immediately, crossing through the MAs and throwing everything off. So we really want to just be super conservative with this one. We are looking for shorts first because that's the overall trend here. We're trend traders. We're trying to ride that trend because that's probably the larger move. So we're looking to enter on a lower high right below 105.4. Okay, so we're looking for this. Some sort of lower high like that. Whoa, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, So something like that. Enter on a lower high. Good entry, good risk to reward, well over 2-to-1. You could probably even, depending on the formation of this lower high, you could probably even drop this accordingly. But yeah, so that's our short position, looking to play towards the bottom of the triangle. And then, of course, if we catch the break of the triangle, we'll be shorting the hell out of this down towards negative fib levels and potentially lower monthly zones. All right, so this could be something pretty big. Pretty freaking big. All right, so what needs to happen for us to go bullish? We will not be fooled. We will not get in fake outs. We will not take trades early. We will always wait for a break and retest. Especially on a counter trend trade like this, you really just want to make sure you have everything lined up. You don't want to be putting unnecessary risk into the market. So play it safe. We're looking for this. That's what we're looking for. Nice break of this zone, higher low above, then target towards prior highs and key resistance. So this would change the trend on this 4-hour time frame here, right? This would be a nice break of all these lower highs here, thus confirming the transition from bearish to bullish. Okay, something like that. Boom. All right, and then you're entering over here on this higher low, just like that. 100 pips. I know you're risking way under 50 here, so this would be perfect. Probably about 30 at your max, 35 maybe even, either way. Great risk to reward on this particular one. It's just over 3.5. All right, so that's UJ, guys. Pretty clear cut. However, this one we're going to be extra patient on because it keeps throwing these curveballs. So careful on UJ, guys. That's a warning from us. All right, so let's move on to EJ. You got to be patient with that one. That thing's a bitch. All right, so EJ is super easy. Again, guys. Oh, excuse me. I've marked these levels of breaks of structure, so it's easier to kind of determine the trend. So every time you see break of structure, it's where a change of trend happened. So here, I'll explain. So like this daily break of structure here, right? This was the transition of this trend from bearish to bullish. Broke through this zone, gave us a higher low, broke this daily structure. Now it's bullish on the daily. Okay, so it rallied all the way into this monthly zone, gave us this huge reversal pattern. Pretty much took, 44 days to complete. So we were sitting on this shit for a month and change, which is the worst. We were trying to catch a large move, but anyway, we're here. So it reversed, pulled back to 61.8, just outside the 200 EMA, just above it. And then it looks like it's continuing higher. So we got some nice indecision. Then the bull stepped in, huge conviction candle, and then followed by an engulfing, which we're looking at now. So let's go ahead and drop down to a 4-hour. And we're looking long on this. We're looking very long on this. Good momentum here. And we're looking long because we just saw a 4-hour break of structure. Well, a recross of a 4-hour break. So I'll explain here. So this was a 4-hour level. Right, this was a nice higher low here. 4-hour higher lows. And then we saw a break of that happen over here, right? So price action fell off, pushed right through support, tested as resistance. That's a 4-hour break of structure. So it went from a 4-hour bullish trend to a 4-hour bearish trend. So we were bearish until we saw pretty much this zone recross. Okay. So we get a higher low. That's a good sign first. We get this little higher low here. That shows us that this 1 hour potentially is bullish. Okay. And then we get the break of the 4-hour zone, or we get the recross. So now we're bullish again on the 4-hour, especially if this higher low confirms. So now we can drop to the 1 hour and see how much conviction this little push here has. So like this thing's gone. This thing's going. Nice little bullish variation. Closure above the MAs. This is pretty much what you want to see. It's breaking, it's testing the support, holding, and then moving off that level. Okay, so we're looking to get towards the monthly on this one. Wow, so this is absolutely crazy. Let's say you entered even right now. Let's just talk about this for a second. Let's say you entered right now. You'd probably do about a 70 pip stop. That seems reasonable. And then your monthly zone would be about 180. So even now, it's still a 2 to 5 risk reward. Pretty solid trade. All right, and then what we want to do from this point is go ahead and bump up time frames. Just take a look, double check everything. Could this move back to the high at this monthly zone? I think so. I think it's very, very likely. If we just look to the left, how has price action reacted at this zone before? Pretty strongly. Tons of rejection, tons of bullish movements off the zone, and multiple times it shot pretty much off the zone straight to the monthly. So they did there once, pretty much did it there twice, and then damn near close to 3 times. Okay, so this thing's got, once EJ commits, guys, this thing freaking runs. So I think this could be a really nice move. We're going to be
Yeah, I'm
following.
also looking at EU to go long right now too.
So yeah, there you go. And that's another thing. These two, so like you guys saw with AU and AJ that I analyzed, very, very correlated. Same is true for Euro USD and Euro JPY. The only difference is Angela's analyzing EU. Okay. So I'm going to wrap up with gold here, guys. My favorite pair ever. Super bullish on the daily here. Let's go to the 4-hour. We got this giant descending triangle. All right, so this one's pretty straightforward. We broke a major support level. We're testing as resistance. Until it breaks above this resistance level that we broke, we're bearish. Very, very simple. So, whoa, there we go. Holy jeez. All right. So here we are on the 4-hour. Two scenarios how this could play out. We're literally looking for a lower high or a higher low, but it depends where we see these levels. So if we see price action go like this, pushes lower, crosses the MAs, gives us a lower high, right below, what is this level? Pretty much below 19. If we get below 19 flat, right here, it's price stable right here. You get a lower high below 19 flat, look to enter on strong bearish setups. And then target lower towards prior highs and our weekly zone. All right, as this will be a classic break and retest. You can even throw a trend line on it for a little more confluence if you want that extra level of confidence in this break. You could do something like that. Nice little trend line. All right, but so it is technically a classic break and retest. We are bearish on the 4-hour now. We're looking to catch a lower high here, play it to a lower zone. All right, so that's the one opportunity, one scenario we're possibly looking at that we could see play out. And here is the second. For us to continue a bullish trend, for us to start taking buys, we just want to see some higher lows. Want to see a higher low, a significant one above 1900 with some strong bullish setups. Something that's going to say, yeah, it's definitely out. It's definitely bullish. It's definitely climbing to new highs. That's what we want to see to go bullish. We don't want to see some sort of fake out crap or consolidation like this. You don't want to see something like this, right? If we just see it chop between this zone here, that's no good. We want to see conviction. We want to see a trend that knows where it's going. It's got good movement, all right? We don't want to enter on any chop. All right, so that's gold, guys. Kind of waiting on this one to see what it does. But let's do a quick recap. Covered DXY, which looks bearish as shit right now. AU, AJ, UJ, EJ, and gold.
All right,
I'm going to pass off to Angelo. He's going to cover some other majors for you guys.
good stuff. So I'm about to share up right here. Boom.
Recently, I'm answering questions now. Yeah, recently the markets have been pretty choppy. It's pretty historic that September and October are, kind of filled with indecision, lower volume, not the best trading months out of the year. But yeah, it's just a tougher time to trade. It makes it difficult, but that's why it's important to stay disciplined and really stick to your rule set and be patient.
All right, cool. So we're going to get started with NU. We're going to start all the way up on the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame with NU, we have been staying below this resistance level multiple times, this random line. So that's pretty much the highs right here on the weekly. Had this huge bearish engulfing candle, and we saw last week came up, ended up putting this like gravestone doji candle right here, this inverted hammer candle, I mean, and so we're solidifying some sort of support at this level, and we're above the moving averages. So we could potentially be coming up to retest this high again. As we come down to the daily, we can see structure is very bullish, higher lows, higher high, higher low, made a new high, double topped here, pulled back. Now we just made this potentially next higher low, and it's just got to turn over on the 1 hour time frame. So as we pop over to the 1 hour, this is pretty much going into the week. What we've been looking for is we've been in this bullish trend right here. We had this higher high form, pulled back, then we made this retest of this high multiple times, started to make higher lows. So this is a nice ascending triangle right here. This is the highs, this is the lows. Ideally, we want to wait for a break above here on the 1 hour and a little bit of a retest. But if you guys want to get in a little bit early, just based on 4 hour time frame, large wick to the downside, and then now we're about to close in 30 minutes. So this would be a nice variation to enter on. A lot of bullish momentum here, and again, this thing could push up back into these highs, back into this resistance level up here, and on the 1 hour, that would also just be this negative 618 area. So this is NU. We're trying to push up into this level. If you guys want to get in on it, this is the current position. We've got stops at 66,200, and we've got our entry at 66,500, so about 30 pips. And yeah, that's NU. So let's go over now to AU. Let's go down from the daily time frame, start up on the weekly. Weekly time frame on AU, we pushed all the way up to this monthly level. Overall, a lot of buyers are in the market. Obviously, large push here. A lot of sellers stepped into this moment, and then we're having a similar situation. We came off of support. We're finding support at this level. Coming down to the daily time frame, structure has been bullish right here. We did break support here. We did break below these levels right here, so that is warranted. And as we come down time frames, down to the 1 hour time frame, pretty much, we saw this double top, we saw this 4 hour push, this 4 hour downtrend. But just to be conservative right now, we really need to break below this level to short. We had been shorting at the highs right here. It was kind of a more aggressive entry, trying to get in on this double top, seeing if it would push from here. Like Nick said, got in a little bit early. I believe we got in right here. It's still alive in the signals. We had our stops all the way up here. So we are in some profits now, but we really need to get below this level right here. We've got our stops back at break even, and we really got to get below this level. This would be a big indication. Right now, it's definitely testing some major support. So if it does break below this level, then, at that point, we'll look for our short opportunities. That would start to line this up with the daily. 1 hour would break structure, daily time frame would then start to turn over, and so on and so on. So AU, just waiting to see how this reacts. To the upside, on the 4 hour time frame, we've got this double top. The only way we'll start to long this is if we really get above this double top level. All the way up here, if we start to get price action, move back above the moving averages, get some sorts of break of structure, just get bullish again on this time frame, 1 hour and 30 minute, then we'll look for buys. So let's go over to EU now, and let's start on the weekly. So weekly time frame, overall, we are in this monthly downtrend, monthly trend line, had this large fall off from these highs, a lot of wicks, large bullish candle to the downside, and then now we're finding some support. We're coming back, we're looking to probably come back into some sort of zone to grab more orders. We got these highs here where a ton of orders are. As we work down time frames, we could see this daily time frame definitely broke to the downside. We're in this pullback now, and we're retracing. We're in this retracement on the 1 hour. Structure is very bullish. We just broke this trend line right here. So structure is definitely very bullish. Let's just bump up. Had this like little 4 hour trend line. Just broke above that. It's gonna be key whether this 4-hour closes bullish right now. Um, if this thing can close solidly, this is definitely a level of support right here that just formed. I don't know if that's a 38.2 or whatnot, but it's definitely continuational pattern and a nice push through the moving averages right now. And yeah, I mean, we'll be retesting these highs right now. This is another potential trade, but it's already in some profits. So we'll probably wait and see how the 4-hour closes, how it pulls back to look for entries. So that's EU. Let's go over now to UCAD.
But yeah, as Angelo said, very much like EJ, pretty much exact spitting images of each other.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go up on the weekly time frame to UCAD. So UCAD put this high, printed this high, came back, started to form this like minor lower high on the weekly, came down, found support, retested this monthly level, and now we're rejecting the shit out of it. As you can under the daily, has been bearish, overall, very bearish. Last week, we looked at this area as a potential short area. We had 618 here, we had all of this indecision, and then we finally started to fall off. So pretty much we're just looking at this down to the 1-hour time frame. So on the 1-hour time frame, this was last week. We had these highs, and then we broke below and started to fall. Now we're just in this 1-hour descending trend. At the moment, we're in this little minor pullback here. Found some resistance. What are we targeting here? We have this weekly level right here. We have this level of indecision that has been retested multiple times. So right now we're looking for it to push into that level. That's what we're looking for it to push into. Again, we had our fibs. We could have had our fibs right here from these highs. Bring this down a little bit more. From these highs to these lows, this was 38.2 that was met. Boom, and we were looking to begin the week to come up and retest this level, but as you can see, it just opened and started falling. Just started falling lower and lower. This thing's going to push to negative 2.7 for sure. If you wanted to get in on a last minute entry on this, it would be 25 pips. You'd be targeting, it would only be 1-to-1, so it would be pretty late. Your risk reward would not be that good right now, even down to the 15-minute. If we come down to this time frame, everything's clearly bearish on this, guys. Got this lower high that just formed. So if you do want to trade this and just try to get in on the trend right now, and then just continue to try to push it into this negative 618 down there, it's definitely looking like a solid position right now for you guys to get into. So that's UCAD. Let's hit over to GU. Let's go up all the way up to the weekly. So weekly time frame on GU. We overall we're very bearish. We hit highs here multiple times. And then last week formed this like bullish candle, bullish engulfing candle, broke us back above the moving averages, back above this weekly level. As we come down to the daily time frame is bullish. So we just made this high, pulled back 618, pulled back 618, but we've got this resistance level here. This formed on the 4-hour. This is what we really need to get above. Because as I come down to the 1-hour time frame, we can see structure has broken bullish, very bullish on this, has been bullish coming into the week. This was what we were looking for. We were looking for a break above the random line, pull back entry. As we can see, we pulled back a little bit further than we would have liked. It failed to respect that level. As I come to the 4-hour, we could see 4-hour time frame, we're testing this level. This is the previous highs right here that was respected. And we can even move this up a little bit. We can move this up here. Or actually, no, we'll put it back. So it just captures all of this, kind of the median of all of these candles right here. But the point is, it's not just the line, guys. It's a range. It's a range of price. Right now, we did break above that range, broke above this area. We're in the pullback. All we need to see, guys, is something similar to this. We need to see bullish pressure back through the moving averages. And then what will we be targeting? We'll pretty much be targeting the next monthly level. We'll be targeting this next high right here. So let's bump back down. This is going to be 1.30800. So whenever we get in on this, stops will be really in this area. Wherever we end up entering, we'll have to put stops depending on how price action forms. And then again, we're going to target up to here. So we're going to target that monthly level. So we're going to need stops a little bit closer, at least 2 to 1 in there. But again, we need some price action to form. Right now, it's just falling short term. Short term, it's just pulling back. So we need price action definitely to push higher. Let's go to USEF. Let's go up time frames. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, we're at this low. We pulled back to the moving averages, found rejection there. Now we broke back below the moving averages. So let's just break this down a little bit more, down to the daily. Daily time frame actually broke to be bullish. Tried to find support at the previous support level, failed, pushed below. So now we're just kind of free falling. Next level that we could really find support at is 100% level. And as we come down to the 1 hour, we can see 1 hour very much bearish, form this low, lower high, low, lower high, open the week, just continued lower. And again, we're trying to get down to this level. This thing could pull back a little bit. But as we get down to the 15-minute, we could see we've got a serious support level right here. So we are pretty much going to look for this. Pullback, retest, entry, target lower level. Right there. So that's USEF, guys. Looking to continue with this bearish trend, looking to continue to push with DXY. And last but not least, let's go into GJ. Let's bump up to the weekly time frame. Very bearish, forming lower highs over and over again. But here we're just at this weekly support level, bullish last week. 2 weeks ago, large wick. Last week, large bullish candle. We started to push up. There we go. Yeah, there you go. So started to push up a little bit. Let's hit the daily time frame. Structure is bullish. Pretty much we were bearish on this until we started to see these moving averages start to cross. And yeah, this is GJ. So pretty much bullish on this once these moving averages started to cross, because on the 1 hour, that is this starting to push higher and higher, making these higher highs and higher lows. Again, we're in this little pullback now, just like GU, guys. GJ and GU, very similar, very similar. So we're in this pullback. We are looking to, let's actually see, there is some other tool that I've been meaning to use, but I don't know where it is. All right, just forget about it for now, unless it's here. No. All right, so we're looking to find some support, whether it's at this 38.2 right here or lower, this 618 down here. This is what we're looking, guys. This is what we're looking for. -2.7. Target that. We're looking to either find support here, find support there. We're not taking shorts until we either find support and break that level, or we break all the way below these lows down here, all the way below this weekly. So that's GJ. As we can see, even on the 4 hour time frame, broke some structure. So this thing is getting bullish. This thing's getting bullish right now, and we got to be ready. Got to be ready on the 1 hour. So that is all the pairs that I have for you guys. I went over NU, AU, EU, UCAD, GU, USEF, and GJ. We'll post in the chat some updates, for you guys in this premium analysis chat. We'll get you guys updated in the signals as well. We're in AU right now. So we'll update you guys in there. If you guys have any questions, as always, just hit us up after the session. Best place to do so is going to be Discord, and I will upload the recording following this, and we're going to do the giveaway in the chat today, so look out for the giveaway, but definitely keep an eye on NU. If we do end up popping above this level, solidifying above here as this 4 hour starts to close, this could be a nice potential long opportunity. So take a look at NU, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. We'll be on tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m., 8 a.m. EST. And hope you guys enjoyed the session. Have a good
Yeah,
rest of the
guys. Yeah, enjoy the rest of Tuesday. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.
day. Let go. Peace out, everybody.